the Super Bowl winning defensive back in his now, eighth season in the National Football League, and a proud LSU guy, and seeing Clyde Edwards-Helaire do that for his own team now, that had to be a nice moment. And we're thrilled to have Tyrann Mathieu back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
Rich, I'm doing well.
I am thrilled
Can't
to
complain.
hear. First of all, I'm glad to hear that you say you're doing well and you sound good, because you said you were pissed off after the game last night about the play that you guys had defensively. But before I get to that, I do want to get to, first overall, what it was like to play a National Football League game in a pandemic. Tyrann, what was that like for you?
I mean, I think first and foremost, it's a blessing. A lot of people, a lot of small people do big jobs, and they give us the opportunity to go out there and do what we love. And obviously, I thought, the NFL and the Chiefs, they did a great job, with safety protocols all throughout camp, and then even leading up into, the game last night. It kind of felt normal, even though, in reality, things are a lot different.
What, were you able to lose yourself in the game? Like, did it feel like you were playing any other week 1 or, like, say, a week 5, week 10 outside of everything else?
No, I mean, I think for us as players, I think it's easy to lock in, especially with us being able to have fans at the game. Not all of them, but 22% of them, they were still loud. They were still able to, we were still able to kind of feel their energy. So for us, like I said, for the most part, it kind of felt normal. But we were locked in. We obviously not playing football, for months, and getting in training camp and having to go through all that. You just want to play the game, and I felt like a lot of people, a lot of guys on our team especially, they was just trying their best to just focus on the game.
So you feel safe playing this game, Tyrann? Is that true or not?
Yeah, I do, 100%. Like I said, it's a lot of small people that do a lot of big jobs, from the training staff to medical staff to independent people who have to do certain things. I feel like the game is safe right now. Yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu here on the Rich Eisen Show, and let's talk about the show of unity beforehand. The conversation sitting on Twitter, where I know you reside, Matthew_era, that the conversation was: is that booing we hear? Did you hear the crowd when you're standing there, Tyrann?
At the time, Rich, I didn't.
Okay.
Obviously I heard some booing initially, when the Texans ran out of the locker room, but that's normal, when the visiting team comes out of the locker room. So that wasn't surprising. But as far as when we locked arms and displayed unity, I didn't feel like I heard that.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Those of us sitting at home, we did hear that, and I've been to Kansas City many times. That city's got a huge heart and a huge sense of community. Yeah. So I don't want to broadly paint an entire brush by saying Kansas City has an issue with those who are standing in a form of unity in 2020 with what we're seeing going on in the communities around this country, certainly when it regards to social justice and what's going on that front. So what are you thinking about this morning, Tyrann?
Well, I think, us as players, and even, within our organization, us having that respect, us having those conversations, guys being, free to do or express, in every way they have. And they have the support of their teammates and, the support of ownership and, just wish that the fans, supported guys and their views, and just continue to listen, continue to listen to them, continue to have an open heart, and kind of see where, a lot of players are coming from.
So what conversations have you guys had, if you wouldn't mind taking us into your conversations on this front?
Yeah, I think for us, as a team, how can we, create positive change? How can we create real change? How can, we show our support for local black businesses? How can we, change the narrative and, make voting cool again? How can we give people, the voice and support their voice? How can we back these people? I think that's really been a lot of the talks that we've had. I know me personally talking with, Clark Hunt and Mark Donovan, leaders of our organization. I think these people are really listening, and they're really finding ways to create positive change, within their communities, within the Kansas City community and beyond. So I think it's great, the kind of conversations that we've been able to have. And I'm sure we're going to continue to have.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the moving video that your colleagues with the Miami Dolphins put together about, okay, the conversations are great, but now it's time for action. Now we actually have to, get some action going. Did you see that video, Tyrann? I know you were ready for a game yesterday, but that kind of made a rounds on Thursday.
Yeah, I did not see that video, Rich. No,
okay, but it's really moving, and I'm thrilled to hear that you're saying that you're talking to the highest levels of your organization, because to me, that's where a lot of this action can come from. That's where a lot of the influence that the NFL has is at the top of the flow charts from all the teams. When you said make voting cool again, I understand that we need to make sure that all of the facilities that you're playing football games in are COVID free. But perhaps when
right.
November 3rd rolls around, football stadiums and atriums can be used as polling places. That these sorts of things can be done from NFL ownership. Is that the stuff you're talking about with Clark Hunt?
Yes, absolutely. And conversations, has been had to try to make it, possible for Arrowhead to be a voting site. And I think that's a, tremendous platform that we have, as a team, as an organization. Clark Hunt, all these men, they have tremendous reach, beyond, the football field, deep in communities, deep into, politics. And I think it's important for us to continue to push towards how can we continue to use our platform to bring about positive change, to continue to display unity, to continue to have respect for another man's or woman's opinion and view. And how can we support that and not, try to tear that down or tear that apart? So, obviously, it's a lot that has to continue to happen, to create change in all of the world. We talk about education, talk about voting. You talk about lack of resources, opportunities in inner cities. This is a big issue, and so I like what the NFL is doing. I like what our players are doing, and I 100% support us.
Tyrann Mathieu here. A few more minutes left with the Kansas City Chiefs defensive back who made a big play, rushing Deshaun Watson, leading to an interception in the opener. So why were you so pissed off after the game? You said, I'm pissed about the play of the defense. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I feel like, our coaches challenge us. When we came back in training camp, we have high goals, as a defense. Trying our best to forget about last season and trying our best to live up to the standard, that we set for ourselves. I felt like last night, we left a few plays out there on the field, and we can get better. We're still a young defense. We're still fairly new in this system. But I think for us, the standard is how can we, hold teams, to 10 points or less. I think that's the goal. I think with the kind of offense we have, the kind of special teams we have, if we could do our part defensively and cover every blade of grass for 4 quarters, I think our chance of winning is pretty high. So, obviously we're grateful that we play with a high-powered offense, but I think us defensively, we're trying to set a different standard, for ourselves. We're trying to actually win ball games, for our team, and not having to rely on, other phases of the game.
So there's a nice, healthy competition even within the Super Bowl winning locker room. I love it. And then on the offensive end, in the fantasy world, this kid was drafted high because everybody thought, well, we saw what he did at LSU, and now he's in Andy Reid's offense along with, the rest of the team. And, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a remarkable performance last night. Did you see that one coming even yourself?
I mean, obviously I'm spoiled.
Yes.
It's a lot of great LSU players, and I think watching him, up close and personal and having a chance to go to the national championship, watch him play in it, I always knew the kid was going to be special, especially in this offense. He's going to be able to really open some things up. And, I think him, coming from LSU in the SEC, he can be kind of a bell cow, in a sense. And it was really cool to see the young man, run the football that well, take care of the football. Sloppy conditions, it's raining out there. He's making these big runs, cutting on the dime, bouncing off of big tacklers. And the Houston Texans have a pretty good run defense. I played for those guys a couple years ago, and so it was cool to see the young man, do well against a really good run defense. Yeah,
I know, and I shouldn't leave out Eric Bieniemy's name too. Your OC, who knows the running back position, and suffers no fools whatsoever. That's the neat thing is it looks like this rookie can take it. He can take whatever's coming his way, and you can ride him to victories. I know it's just one game, but it does appear that way, Tyrann, to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially with our coaching staff, the guys that work under Andy Reid, all of us, at every position, we're getting challenged, by a great coach. And I think that's just the culture Andy Reid has set in. I think all the coaches under him follow that. They challenge each and every player to not only be their best, but be their best all the time. And but like you said, though, Rich, it was one game, but it was good to see the young man, live up to being a first-round running back.
Did he get a game ball? Who got the game balls last night, Tyrann?
Well, I mean, no one got a game ball last night.
No?
But if I did give anybody a game ball, Rich, to be all the medical people, all the people that work in the stadium, all the janitors, everybody that's wiping down, toilets and sinks and faucets. I would have gave all those people a game ball. I think without them, we wouldn't even play the game last night.
You're first rate, man, but you knew that. That is I mean, and you mean it. You're not just saying that. That is I would say, when you say to somebody that's a great answer, that supposes or that infuses that you're maybe saying it just to say it, but that is a great answer. I'm so glad, you reminded everybody about exactly what's happening to make us lose ourselves in a fantasy world that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is lighting it up and you're doing what you need to do. And then I guess a little bit of the reality world can give us a nice laugh if we can. Andy Reid's face shield. It does appear you need to give him a windshield wiper for it. Tyrann, did you notice that during the game?
I did notice that during the game. Me and Coach Reid interact a bunch during the game.
Yes.
Probably have 6 or 7 interactions, and
yes.
I did notice that. But who am I to tell Big Red anything?
No, I know, but I mean, it does appear like somebody's got to give him a little wipe down or something. Because I don't know how he could see it. It's like a fog. It's like he's got his own personal fog bowl. You can't see it.
It was the first game too, so everybody's knocking out kinks all over the place. But I'm sure the next game,
yes,
for sure, Coach Reid to make sure
yes.
He has a personal window washer
yes,
for his shield.
Weekly adjustments, they're crucial to being a championship team. I agree, Tyrann. Hey, is there anything going on with your charity work, your foundation you want to get out there? Anything that you want to, my platform is yours as always, as you know that.
Yeah, well, nothing right now, Rich. I'm actually trying to team up with Target, and we're trying to do something for the people of West Louisiana. They was hit pretty hard by the hurricane, and obviously, with the elections coming up, just trying to bring more awareness to voter registration and trying to get everybody, up to speed on, what it is they need to do. It's I wouldn't say a complicated process, but, it's a process, to register to vote. And not everybody has, that information. So I think just continuing to bring awareness about that, continuing to spread positive change and spread a lot of love around the world. So that's just where I'm at right now, Rich.
Yes, because again, voting is not a partisan issue. It's an American issue. It is an American issue. It is a democratic issue. We are a democracy, and we are a beacon for it in this world. And voting is important. If there's anything I can do to help, you know how to contact me. Please.
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it.
Right back at you, Tyrann. Congrats on the week 1, and let's chat real soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Rich.
You
Talk
got
to
it.
you soon.
Right back at you. That's Tyrann Mathieu, Kansas City Chiefs safety. Love that guy. We'll talk about being about it. So amazing. What a career he's putting together. And a career that nobody thought could actually happen.
Right.
That's his story. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.